Throughout this year in English class, there has been one common theme through the major books, which has been finding one's identity and not being afraid to show it. Whether it be in The Namesake, when Gogol found his true identity by the end of the book, or in The Awakening, where Edna discovers her true desires and feminism as the book progresses. This is a theme that is central to life at Choate, and in this collage of photographs, I will portray the findings of one's identity at Choate. When I first arrived as a freshman, I was out of shape, I played too many video games, and I stuck to my room and avoided social situations. Since I started rowing, I have had a reason to get out of bed at 7 a.m. on a Saturday, to watch what I eat, to hang out with my friends on the team. It has created a structure in my life I never thought I'd find. Tristan Jamadar, class of 2018. Tristan is one of my closest sophomore friends, and I've watched his progression over the last year and a half. In rowing, he has found structure that was not there before. His grades improved when he started rowing, and his overall demeanor improved. Rowing has enabled Tristan to find his true identity over the last year and a half, which is disciplined, focused, and determined to reach his goals, whether it be in academics or athletics. This picture perfectly captures his traits that he has developed as he works out during study hours, focused on building his fitness. You can see in his face that he's focused on the task at hand. It has been amazing watching Tristan grow as a rower and as a person as he continues to find his identity. The traditional Dutch barbecue was not what I had expected, but after this meal I realized that I am truly a Dutchman, and this is my home. I felt a connection to this food that I had not previously felt when eating American food. Alex Overmeer. I am Dutch. This is something I was unsure of when I was younger. Was I Dutch or American? I could never decide. It wasn't until I went to the Netherlands for a month that I truly found out who I was. I traveled all over with my father, looking at castles, medieval towns, the dikes, and the capital city, Amsterdam. Throughout this trip, I realized what an honor it is to be Dutch, and since then I have become a proud Dutchman. In this picture, I am having a Dutch barbecue with my Swedish cousins, and after the meal I realized how attached I became to the food. I'd never felt like that after an American barbecue. That is when I realized I was truly Dutch. It took me until now to realize that Fezzy blood runs deep through me, not just in my everyday activities, but the friendships I cultivated that have stuck with me all this time. The friendships I created have prevailed and will continue throughout the rest of my life. Jens Odegaard. The bonds you create when you are younger will last with you forever. These are some of my friends from Pheasant, my old school, that also became rowers. At New England's, we all met up after the races, where we fought against each other for that extra second. But after the race, it was all fun with the boys. Jens told me that he hadn't realized how far we had all come until that moment, and how Pheasant will always be a part of us, no matter which ways life takes us. Bringing the Antiguan flag to Choate has allowed me to bring a piece of my country to Choate. Whenever I'm feeling down, it reminds me of all the good times I've had with my family and friends at home. It is a piece of my identity that I want people to know about, as it is an important part of my life. Omar John, class of 2017. It is hard to find good Mexican food at Choate, so when they do have the typical arroz con pollo, it is very nice. The days when they have Mexican food reminds me of my identity as a Mexican and my heritage. Simon Jimenez, class of 2018. Simon and his twin may have been born in America, but they are Mexican at heart. Choate has allowed them to be more open about their identity, and on some days they even serve Mexican food. While it is no comparison to real Mexican food, they connect with the food as it reminds them of their roots and where they came from. Before I came to Choate, I thought I might be judged for my apparel, but everyone seemed to be very understanding. Choate is a very open place, and I feel comfortable showing my identity and who I really am. At first I was scared, but I've come to own my identity as a Muslim and be proud of who I am. Yasmin Abdallah, class of 2018. This picture of Yasmin shows that she's not afraid to show her true identity in the dining hall. Here she's eating with her friends and has no problem wearing a burqa. took me until senior spring to realize that there is more to life than studying and grades. It is about making lifelong friends and enjoying their company. Jacob Klieger, class of 2016. I have known Jacob for 2 years, and for most of the time, I thought of him as a hard-working, quiet individual. However, during his senior spring, he's become a new person. He is carefree, funny, and outgoing. This picture signifies his change and how he has found a new identity. He grew his hair out and is even smoking a cigar at graduation, something no one could have foreseen before this spring. Even his friends on Facebook comment on his photos how they don't recognize him. The new identity he has found is one he has developed all on his own. And although it has only been a little while, I now know who the real Jacob Klieger is. I was once at a concert, and this guy in a bandana came up to me and showed me how to mosh. At hardcore metal concerts, people get pretty crazy, and this guy taught me how to fend for myself, and he protected me at my first concert. Metal has been a big part of my life, and wearing this bandana reminds me of him and my first time at a concert. Ben Wendell, class of 2017. This bandana reminds Ben of this moment when he was at his first concert. He found his identity at that concert. He found out who he was through the help of this stranger. This bandana signifies that search and coming of age, and reminds him of that man that made him realize who he was. When I first arrived at Choate, I didn't know who I was or what I wanted. I feel much more grounded now. I'm on the rowing team, I'm doing better in school, I have a good group of friends. But every day I learn something new about myself. And I realize I'm not closer to finding out who I am than I was when I came in as a freshman. I feel like I'm looking into a mirror and seeing 3 of me: the athlete, the academic, and the friend. I don't have to choose one, but I need to learn how to bring them all together. Alex Overmere, class of 2017. Being a twin is something special. I always have someone to fall back on. He's always there for me. He's my best friend. Even though I don't get to see him much, even at Choate, whenever we text, I'm always reminded of where I started, with him, and how he will always be a part of my identity, because we are a package deal. Being a twin has been a large part of who I am. Even though Chris and I do not do everything together, we are both part of each other's identity. He will always be my closest friend, the one who I have shared unforgettable moments with. My freshman year at Choate, I drifted away from him and lost sight of what he meant to me. I forgot how much of an impact he has on my life. It wasn't until he came to Choate my sophomore year that we reconnected, and I remembered how important he is in my life. Whether it be reacquainting yourself with old friends, finding structure through a sport, identifying with your heritage, or finding yourself through senior spring, the theme of finding identities is prevalent throughout not only Choate, but also the world. This year we have read a lot about finding your own identity, and it is something I have written about personally. Gogol, Edna, Gatsby, Junior, Huck Finn, they are all stories about finding your identity. This is clearly one of the most important themes in American literature as well as American life.